Oh, Jay Bizzle! I forgot about this. The Hello Kitty murder shit thingy jingy case, bro. This was some shit I said I was gonna check out. Thank you, JB, for sending me that link. Hugs and kisses. Now let's get into some fucking trauma. Alright, it's 22 minutes, chat. You know we yap. We put it on 1.5. Let's get it.
In one of the most infamous crimes to ever come out of Hong Kong, a woman is held captive, severely mistreated, and eventually...
Why is it all Asian countries? Why, nigga? Now we in fucking China? This one made me cry. Damn. Deadass, JB.
One of the most infamous crimes to ever come out of Hong Kong, a woman is held captive, severely mistreated, and eventually murdered.
Yeah, I know human trafficking is... Bro, no, we've already talked about it, nigga. Like, besides human trafficking and all that, nigga... Bro, like, rape culture, like, there's so much fucked up shit that just be happening over there. Like, we have our own problem. Like, we were literally just talking about it. Nigga, the U.S. has fucking more, more school shootings, nigga. Like, they average more school shootings than there are days in a year. Which is so fucking crazy, that statistic. But, like, every place has this problem, but my nigga, it's just, like, I don't, like, bro,
However,
this
what made
is
this case
so
infamous is how they treated her after the fact.
Dire trip.
Got a packed schedule this fall and don't have much time to figure out what to cook? How about trying some more interesting food that's already chosen for you? With HelloFresh, you can try out a variety of global flavors, all from your own kitchen. HelloFresh offers a wide variety of all kinds of quick and easy recipes that take minimal prep time and don't require much cleanup afterwards. They also always come with...
Japan peaked in the 40s, nigga, nah, bro. Twin, even before we dropped the bombs and everything, Japan was on some nut shit, bro. Like, I don't remember what it was called. I think it was called, like, the raping of, like, whatever the city was, nigga, or, like, the murder, or, like, the massacre of a certain city. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments. But at a certain point, Japan raided, like, the Chinese capital at the time or some shit, or, like, a major city in China, way back when, nigga. And the shit they did to the citizens of China were actually some of the most horrendous and, like, just fucked up shit. I'm talking about, like, you know the meme of Star Wars, like, not just the men, but the women and the children, too? That's real life what they were on, nigga. Like, nigga, these countries have always been on some fuck shit. I mean, but, like, though, it's not even just these it's, like, the world, bro. Real shit, it's the world, nigga. Because what Europeans have done to, like, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, bro, I can go on, we can go into the history of the entire world, nigga. But, like, it's just so, like, nigga, people in general, nigga, like, that's why I don't want to say, like, some people don't have some people have a lack of humanity, because what do we really define as human at this point, nigga? When you have, from the dawn of time, niggas have been doing this type of fuck shit, nigga. This is humanity, as fucked up as it is, nigga. To an extent. Let me not
clear step-by-step instructions on how to cook the food, and the ingredients are pre-proportioned so you don't have to count anything out. Not only that, but you end up with less trips to the store since it comes with every little...
What the fuck? Why just realized I got hit with an ad?
About before. It's very infamous. But this is by far and beyond the case I've been most requested to cover. Since it's requested so often, I decided to dig deep into it as deep as I could and give it the whole in full detail treatment. I think that I'll be able to paint a picture as to how truly horrible it really is, and buckle up because it's disturbing.
Okay.
This is the story of a woman out in Hong Kong named Fan Manyi. Fan did not have the best life, to say the least. She was abandoned in her childhood, forcing her to grow up in an orphanage. However, this would only be until she reached the age of 15, as that orphanage had an age limit in place. Given that she was never adopted and had no place to live, she soon became homeless. Soon after that, she became addicted to drugs. Fan ended up having to resort to prostitution, working at a brothel to get by and even feed herself. When Fan Manyi was in her early 20s, she was able to get a job as a dancer at the Empress Karaoke nightclub. She eventually fell for one of her clients, who was unfortunately another drug addict who only ended up enabling her. Despite this, they got married in 1996.
That's kind of sweet. I can't even lie. That's kind of sweet. As fucked up it is, these two drug junkies, you know what I mean? They found each other, you know what I mean? At a strip club. Or nightclub, whatever it was.
However, soon began mistreating her.
Oh,
still, though, she stayed with the man and actually had 2 sons together over the next couple of years. Their fighting only worsened, though. The neighbors would often wake up to not only the sounds of the children screaming, but the sounds of the couple themselves screaming as well, as they argued all throughout the night. By early 1997, Fan had already started working as a prostitute again out at a brothel called the Romance Villa in Kowloon. After working there for a while, she ended up meeting a 34-year-old man named Chan Man Lok. Chan was said to have been a wealthy socialite well known throughout the area. Fan was immediately drawn to him as she was a prostitute who was addicted to drugs, and he was a drug dealer that also worked as a pimp. He would often pay her for long, all-night sessions where they would binge crystal meth, or ice, which he supplied. It wasn't too long before Fan was integrated into Chan's inner circle. She was there along with several of his little underlings, his henchmen, if you want to call them that. Chan Man-lok was a member of the Triads, a large Chinese organized crime syndicate. He wasn't someone to be messed with. Hell, he wasn't even someone you should associate with for your own safety. However, Fan got too comfortable around him regardless. One night, during one of their binges, she stole his wallet, gaining the equivalent of a—
Bitch, are you Yo, okay, are you like, are you stupid?
about $4,000 US. That would prove to be the biggest mistake of her life.
Okay, no, first off, you know you're fucked when you run a nigga's wallet and he has 4K just in paper, nigga. You're cooked. You're cooked. That's not a nigga to fuck with. Who walks around with 4 thou wow, bro? Then you're half of a 10 kizzy in they pockets, just as pocket change. You're fucked.
His wallet,
She's
gaining
fucked.
the equivalent of about $4,000 US. That would prove to be the biggest mistake of her life. Chan found out about this and was furious. She agreed to pay him back with $4,000 that she was to earn from her work. He wasn't happy with this, though, and demanded $10,000 of interest. Fan stated that she would need a good amount of time to pay that interest off fully. Chan Man-lok was furious about his stolen money. It wasn't even about the money, it was the fact that Fan even had the audacity to steal from him in the first place. In March of 1999, he got 2 of his men to kidnap Fan and take her back to his apartment on—
What is with these niggas, yo? These motherfuckers is some aliens, bruh. Nigga looks easy. Like, these niggas deadass look easy to draw, bruh. This motherfucker looks like an actual octopus, and this... I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at over here, bro. I can't tell if this is a nigga or... I can't tell if either of them are niggas or shorties, bro. I don't even know what that is.
Granville Road. It was a massive apartment consisting of 5 bedrooms and was all decked out in Hello Kitty merch for some reason. Hello Kitty was on the curtains, on the bed sheets, adorning the walls, and there were even plushies all over the place. Chan planned to pimp Fan out and force her to work non-stop until her debt to him was fully paid off.
Okay.
But he was never satisfied with any amount of money she would earn. He kept increasing the interest on her debt more and more until it became impossible for her to ever pay him back. There simply wasn't any way that she could keep up with the constantly spiking increase to the debt. So in addition to making her work even more, the gang started taking their frustrations out on her as well. They began to hit her and strike her repeatedly very often. She would often be so bruised and battered that she couldn't even work. Despite this, the group would continue to get high and subject her to even more beatings. They enjoyed themselves far too much while doing so, often laughing at her pain. This was when things got really out of hand, and you may be thinking...
See, my thing is, like... it's so, like... it's not deranged... Like, it is deranged, but it's, like... How can, like, you derive, like, pleasure from, like genuinely beating the living shit out of somebody who, like, can't defend themselves? Like, I made that very specific because I understand, like, there's been times where, you know, like, if you've ever been in a fight type shit, nigga, and you whoop somebody's ass that you've had, like, bro, that, like, especially if the motherfucker really deserved it, you feel kind of, like, you know, like, yeah, like, a sense of, like, not dopamine, but I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean? But, like, even afterwards, nigga, it's, like, you know what I'm saying, at least as a grown man, bro, it's, like, it's just, like, you know what I mean, like, this shit, I don't feel like... Nigga, you can call me a pacifist. I don't care, bro. I don't feel like unless, like, push comes to absolute shove, bro, there shouldn't be a reason, nigga, you should ever, like, you know what I mean, just want to beat the living shit out of another person, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just, like, let bygones be bygones. That was the most random tangent. Hashtag cancel Raptor for what? Raptor's so racist we should cancel in his black ass. What the fuck? Nigga, you said the dude on the right looks like a Fortnite flopper. Yo! How you gonna cancel me when you said that nigga look like a Fortnite flopper?
Already out of hand, and you would absolutely be right, but it's about to get much, much worse. The group that tortured Fan consisted of Chan Man-lok, the leader, Leung Wai-lung, a subordinate gangster of his who is said to have been either 19 or 21, and Leung Xing-cho, age 26, another one of his underlings. But there was soon one new member to that group, a 14-year-old minor named Ah Fong.
Whoa.
She, although she had been reported to be one of the girlfriends of one of his underlings, ended up being a victim of Chan himself as he groomed her more and more over time. This girl, though, despite being very young and obviously manipulated, was ice cold.
Wait, no, time out. I want to run it back. Hold on.
The group that tortured Fan consisted of Chan Man-lok, the leader, Leung Wai-lung, a subordinate gangster of his who is said to have been either 19 or 21, and Leung Xing-cho, age 26, another one of his underlings. But there was soon one new member to that group, a 14-year-old minor named Ah Fong. She, although she had been reported to be one of the girlfriends of one of his underlings, ended up being a victim of Chan himself as he groomed her more and more over time. This girl, though, despite being very young and obviously manipulated, was ice cold herself. She very much enjoyed helping the group to mistreat Fan. She would even giggle and laugh hysterically while doing so. She took the opportunity to get creative and would even come up with her own ways to brutalize the woman herself. She was always ready and willing to join in. The group, unsatisfied at the amount of money Fan was bringing in, continued to mistreat her more and more. They tied her up, punched her, and kicked her all over. They would force themselves on her repeatedly, as much as they wanted. They even forced her to eat excrement. They started hitting her with metal bars, hit her and stabbed her with kitchen utensils, smashed pieces of furniture over her, and even tied her up in a standing position to use her as a punching bag.
Nigga, the punching bag shit is so OD. They did that to my girl Junko too in the other case we watched, where they like hanged her by the ceiling and just was using her as a punching bag. My nigga, that is so like fucking deranged. Also, slamming household items like tables over this bitch's skull is crazy
with kitchen
too.
utensils, smashed.
Like, nigga, what? Bro, this is not the WWE. You are not fucking RKOing niggas, bro. Why are they hitting wrestler moves, bro? Like, this shit, like, fact, bro. No racial, but Jackie Chan wildin'. What is niggas on right now, bro? Damn!
Over her and even tied her up in a standing position to
like,
use
this
her
shit
as a
is like
punching
just
bag.
deranged. Like, why are you
one day
doing
alone,
this?
she ended up getting kicked in the head about 50 times. It has been said that Fun even got pregnant around this time, but the mistreatment continued regardless. When she was wounded, barely able to even move, the group would rub spices into her open wounds. To further ensure that she wouldn't be running away or moving much at all, they would burn her legs with hot candle wax repeatedly and even melt plastic over her legs.
Damn,
she was then forced to consume even more urine and excrement. The group would then force her to smile and say that she enjoyed all of these things. If she refused, they would just mistreat her even worse, getting even harsher with their punishments. All throughout this time, Fan's husband and kids wondered where she even went. They were left with nothing to do but worry about her and hope that she would come home. The group started getting more and more creative, utilizing anything they could find throughout the apartment that could possibly inflict pain. That could
like, see, that's what I'm saying. How did this like conspire? Because at first it's you gotta pay off your debt, right? I'm going to make you work in this love hotel for like blah 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 until you give me my 10K, right? And then it spiraled to, oh, this bitch is doing this, not fast enough, I'm going to hit her. Oh, I enjoy hitting her. Let me begin to torture her. Like, it's just like, but it's just like, I mean, I guess I just kind of broke it down right there and then. But it's just like crazy that it just like, it got to this point and it just keeps escalating. Like, why?
The group started getting more and more creative, utilizing anything they could find throughout the apartment that could possibly inflict pain, that could be used as a weapon. They would set plastic straws on fire and press them against the bottom of her feet until they were covered in painful burns and blisters. They would then hit her in the feet with sticks and whatever else they could find. All throughout this, they would throw chili oil onto her wounds and dump oyster sauce on her.
Nigga! Chili, oh my god, on the open
They then made her drink the
wounds?
combination of oils afterwards. It was a game they played. If she didn't pretend to be happy, then they would beat her harder. They told her to smile while they burned her.
See,
it was
that's
a fun
just also
atmosphere,
like,
said Offong.
Nah, nigga, nah. What the fuck, yo? That's also some psychological torture, nigga. Making her smile and say she enjoying it, or else she'll get beat, nigga. So she can't even show displeasure, nigga. That's some, bro, nah, these niggas are fucked.
It got to the point where they started using Fan as a toilet, directly urinating onto her face and sometimes even into her mouth. If she spat any of it out, she was severely punished. Offong once even defecated into a shoebox and forced Fan to eat it, which she thought was hilarious. The group started wrapping her in electrical wires and hanging her from a hook on the ceiling. They would then mistreat her in any way that they wanted, usually hitting her with iron bars, and leave her there overnight. Eventually, they stopped feeding her entirely. The bodily fluids they would subject her to became her only form of sustenance. They continued to pack her wounds with dirt, spices, salt, and really anything else they could find to make sure that she never felt any sort of relief. Needless to say, after seeing the shape she was in, potential clients started refusing her services, meaning that she was no longer pulling in any money for the group.
And she was getting raped still, or getting pimped out still at the same time this was happening.
Fan would lie on the floor, starving, drifting in and out of consciousness, while the group hung out and watched TV or played video games. She was broken, and playing with her wasn't so much fun after that, but we carried on anyway. There wasn't really anything else to do.
Like, nigga, what? Like, nah, people are genuine, like, actual, like, menaces, nigga. Like, this is some genuine, like evil, nigga. This is, like, devil shit, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she was, like not, like, whatever the fuck. Or whatever the hell, but we decided to keep going anyways. Like, just cause fuck it, nigga, what else is there to do? Nothing else to do but make this girl's life a living fucking hell. Like, you know, hey guys, I'm bored today. Let's fucking go ahead and torture my human captive, nigga, my fucking slave. Like, what kind of shit is that?
Said Offong. Offong would gladly participate in any of the horrible things the group did to Fun, enjoying it all the way, admittedly laughing at everything that happened to her.
Yeah,
it was for fun.
Watch that girl get her own shit. She gonna get the biggest, like, taste of her own medicine, bro, and I'm still gonna somehow feel bad for her, nigga. I'm already knowing. Actually, no, fuck that
details of what
bitch.
Offong did herself have never been revealed, but it's undoubtedly a very long list, even by her own admission. One night, the group decided to go out for some drinks. To make sure that Fun couldn't escape, they did what they usually did. They tied her up and threw her onto the bathroom floor, locking the door behind them.
Ew.
This sort of mistreatment could only go on for so long. After about a month of this, on April 15th of 1999, Fun finally succumbed to her wounds and passed away, cold, alone, and in pain while her captors were out of the house. After a few days, the group came back to the apartment. Ah Fong stated that she had to use the restroom. When she went into the restroom, she found deceased on the floor. The men began to discuss amongst themselves. They needed a way to get rid of the body, but they couldn't decide on which method would be best. They even argued about what likely caused her death, obliviously most of them believing that it was probably an overdose that did her in.
And, like, on top of it all, it's like these niggas are also just, like, genuinely stupid. Nah, an overdose killed her. Not the fact that we were starving her and making her eat nothing but her shit and piss, nigga. And fucking keeping her out in the cold, nigga, beating her constantly, filling her wounds with fucking chili pepper and shit, like...
Most experts agree, though.
Nah, it was the drugs, like...
More likely the actual injuries that led to her death. So, deciding to put a pin in it for now,
I mean, yeah, they probably were
more...
drugging. I mean, but, like, what, like... Alright.
Likely the actual injuries that led to her death. So, deciding to put a pin in it for now, they decided to go to the arcade and play some video games, all while...
Nigga, there's a body in your crib!
Laid in the bathroom. After a while, they came back home, went to sleep, and did nothing about the problem.
Did these niggas not, like... Alright, whatever.
They, while
whatever.
completely high...
When that bitch are stanking up the place, nigga, and the cops start knocking... I don't even, but like, where is the, like, comments? There's no urgency for this shit. These niggas are mental. Like, they're not only just insane, they're just stupid as bricks. Like, what are you doing, bruh?
Chan came to a conclusion. He gathered up his little posse and told them, now she must be destroyed. They put her into the bathtub and got to work with a handsaw.
Yeah,
once the body was divided up into more manageable portions, they cooked each piece to prevent further decay and to get rid of some of the smell, boiling the pieces on the stove. Chan woke up Ah Fong, who was sleeping, and waved a bag of guts in front of her. He told her to go put them into some hot water to stop them from smelling. Leong Xing Cho was in the middle of boiling the head himself and called Ah Fong over to come and look at it. She said that she was scared and didn't want to look, but he said, it's okay, just pretend you're watching TV. She decided to give it a peek and decided that he was right, it looked like something out of a horror movie. Given that this had already taken 10 hours, the group started getting pretty hungry. How they could even get an appetite while all of this is going on is maybe one of the biggest mysteries about this case.
No.
While boiling Fan's head in a pot, stirring it ever so often, they decided to throw some noodles onto the adjacent burner. They used the same spoon to stir their soup as they did to stir the head, alternating between the two. By the time their meal was over, the head was now nothing but bone. They decided to take the skull and sew it into the head of one of their Hello Kitty plushies, a large mermaid one. This is obviously where the name of the case comes from. It's still unknown why they even decided to go through the trouble of doing this. Given how drug-fueled the whole operation was, it's safe to say that if there even was a reason, it might not make a lot of sense now. For unknown reasons, they decided to keep some other bits as well, namely a tooth and some organs.
Our niggas retorted. Are we retorted? Why are you keeping evidence? For what purpose? Because this, like, I mean, I understand these niggas is he's in the triad. He's a gangster. You know what I'm saying? They gotta keep a memento of the people you kill, whatever the fuck, whatever the case may be. But my nigga, it's like you ain't really even like they doing shit. Like, you're not like untouchable. You're not like Kingpin, my nigga. You was. You know what I'm saying? You was a level 10 crook. Like, you know what I'm saying? You was a pimp. You a pimp. You definitely got some pull, nigga. But you have a minor working for you, nigga. You have a minor as like, you know, like, I don't know.
However, they disposed of the rest in the apartment complex's garbage. Things were quiet for about a month. It seemed that they had gotten away with all that they had done.
Bro, come on.
That all changed 1 month later in May. Ah Fong made her way out to a local police station. She told the police that she was being haunted by a ghost, oddly enough. She told the police that this particular ghost had been tied up in electrical wire and murdered. The police, though, given that
nah, fuck you.
This was simply a ghost story, didn't take her very seriously at all. They brushed it off, assuming that she was just having nightmares or being silly. This was, however, until Ah Fong told them that she had played a part in the murder of this particular woman. This obviously changed things, drastically. The police asked her for more details and eventually followed her out to where all the carnage took place, the apartment. This is where they discovered that her nightmares were very much indeed based in reality. Inside, she pointed them to the Hello Kitty mermaid doll, and inside they found the skull. The whole group was found, arrested, taken in, and taken to trial. Ah Fong, which likely isn't even her real name, by the way, it's likely a pseudonym given to her by the court system, decided to testify against the other members of the group. She told the police that she was Chan Man-lok's girlfriend, but she was also very likely one of his prostitutes as well. When asked why they had done all of this, she simply said, "I have a feeling it was for fun." This case quickly became a spectacle all throughout Hong Kong. Most citizens had never heard of a case coming anywhere near this magnitude before. Being a pretty safe modern city, they couldn't imagine something so sinister going on so close by. One element of this case that fascinated them was the terrifying juxtaposition of one of the most grisly crimes they'd ever heard of meeting with one of the cutest icons they could think of. The mixture of horror and innocence stood out to a good amount of people. The trial would go on to last for 6 months. Ah Fong went on to testify in exchange for complete immunity. In order to placate Fan's ghost and finally get some peace, she spilled all the gritty details. Every single disgusting detail of every single disturbing thing that the group did. She said that this was in order to relieve her guilt and stop the haunting. During the trial, material evidence relating to the case was presented to the courtroom. This included the refrigerator where the body was kept, the pots used in the cooking, and the actual skull itself. It has been said that the stench radiated throughout the entire courtroom. Psychiatrists evaluated the 3 men, who went on to describe them to the courts as being completely remorseless. There was one massive roadblock to the case, though. Given the way that Fan's body ended up, there wasn't any clear, for sure reason to find out what actually had happened to her. They couldn't come up with a concrete cause of death given the evidence that they had to go off of. It could have been from the abuse, or it could have actually been due to an overdose. As a result, the men weren't convicted of murder, but instead of manslaughter. The jury had come to believe that they had indeed caused her death, but they couldn't agree on whether or not there was intent. They couldn't rule out that the men did intend to kill her, but they also couldn't rule out that they...
But I feel like at that point, nigga, like, you gotta chalk it up to murder, nigga. Because, like I know manslaughter, you're fucked anyways. Like, regardless, like, it's actually, I mean, at least if it's anything like the U.S. system, nigga, you get charged with manslaughter, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in there for fucking, you know what I mean? But, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you should just chalk that bitch up as murder, nigga. Like, it's damn near. it is. Like,
there was simply no way to know for sure. Despite all of the doubts and the charges being reduced to manslaughter, the court justice, Peter Nguyen, was having none of it. In December of 2000, he sentenced the 3 to life in prison.
Yeah.
Sadly enough, though, this sentence did come with the possibility of parole. It wouldn't be for 20 years, though. Never in Hong Kong in recent years has a court heard of such cruelty, depravity, callousness, brutality, violence, and viciousness, he said. The public is entitled to protection from people such as you. While if this had taken place in mainland China, all 3 would have likely been executed pretty swiftly, Hong Kong did not have a death penalty. Fan's husband came out and spoke of the sentencing. It seems that he was satisfied with them getting life in prison. He did, though, end by saying, "But how can I ever forget?" Ah Fong was released, free of charges, into foster care. It's currently
she's a kid. Like, I can't, like, she's a kid, but, like, she's a kid. She's a kid. I can't hate on a kid. I can't. It's just, like, the fact he participated in shitting on her and doing this and that. You know what I mean? It's just like, come on, bro. Like, I mean,
known where she is now or how she turned out.
She's a kid.
The lawyers of the 3 men tried to appeal the case in 2003, but they had no luck. The sentence was upheld. Those 3 monsters weren't going anywhere. In 2014, the courts finally handed Fan's skull, the only remaining evidence of her body, over to her family, who had it cremated. The apartment building, located at 31 Granville Road, Tsim Sha Tsui, Hong Kong, where the murder took place, was eventually demolished entirely in September of 2012. After several years, in 2016, it was rebuilt as a hotel that still exists to this day. The actual location where the murder took place is now, by some dark irony, a restaurant. 20 years came and went, and in 2020, it seems that the trio never did get their parole, as there's no news out there of their release. That is, except for one of the men. The Yongxing Cho was actually released in April of 2014. It seemed that his lawyer was able to appeal and convince the courts that there wasn't sufficient evidence against him. As you might assume, it wasn't too long before he was on the police's radar again. Just recently, in January of 2022, while he was working as a waiter, he groped the chest of a female minor, only 10. And even
lock this, like, send that nigga to, oh, that shit made me lightheaded. What? Like, alright, bro.
January of
what is wrong with
2022, while he was working as a waiter, he groped the chest of a female minor, only 10.
Like, nigga, you got out of jail and you out here doing, like, you niggas said, fuck it, what's mainstream now? Oh, I've been seeing mad niggas coming out as pedos, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a trend right now, let me hop on that wave. My brother, what are you talking about? Like, what is he doing, nigga? Nigga trying to be fucking EDP, the nigga trying to be fucking Chris Tyson or whatever that nigga name is. Like, bro, why? Like, nigga, you got out of jail by God's fucking grace or whatever the fuck, the devil or some shit. And this is what niggas decide to do after they get out, nigga.
More recently, he was sentenced to 12 months in prison for that. So, as of the writing of this video,
give that nigga 3 years.
Time will tell if they end up
give that nigga 10, honestly, bro.
There ended up being a few movies released throughout the years that told the story of this case. One of them was called Human Pork Chop with, my god, have some tact, come on. Another was called There's a Secret in My Soup. This case even became well enough known overseas that it was featured in an episode of Bones, an American crime drama. To this very day, Fan Man-yi's memory is kept alive every year when citizens of Hong Kong celebrate her life on her birthday with a candlelight vigil in the center of the city.
That's nice.
Once again...
Alright. Honestly, nigga, people were saying that, like, when they were talking about the Junko case, I'm not, like, undermining this, like, this is fucked up shit. But people were saying that, like, oh, this was, like, the worst. Like the Hello Kitty is, like, the only thing that comes close to as bad as that. Or, like, these, like, you know what I mean? Like, the Junko case was, like the Hello Kitty was some actual shit I don't think I've ever heard of, nigga. That shit was insane. Not Hello Kitty. The Junko case? Junko Furuta? Whatever her last name is. I'm so sorry. I don't want to say whatever, but, you know, what her last name is, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, that shit was insane. Nigga, that shit actually, like, yo, that shit was, like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, nigga. I had a dream that night, because I ended up rewatching it, too, with Rick and him. I had a dream that night, nigga, about the shit, nigga. Like, no cap. Like that shit was genuine, like, that shit was fucked, yo. Put it out the coupe at the lot.